Well, hello. You see my hands, but I'm going to turn it up because I don't want to be upside down. I don't mind. Oh, it won't let me rotate, so it's okay. We'll just do this, like it is. So I am going to show you the Everywhere kit we're going to be creating with that this evening. So I'm going to open up the box. And I had to take the instructions out. So if you're not needing a whole bunch of Christmas cards, the kits are beneficial, but you can always add extra stuff to them. So, and this is the Everywhere kit that we're going to be creating. So I brought in, of course, some beautiful rhinestones. And I'm going to show you how to create this kit. I'm going to do one of each of the 3 cards that they show here. And I brought in here with the Granny Apple Green, the Pretty Peacock, and the Real Red. So we'll be using those colors. So here we go. This kit does come with a D block. It's not as thick as our regular blocks. So just to give you an idea, because our regular blocks are like double the thickness. See the difference? Yeah. So, let me open this up. I could just cut the bag, but I usually use these bags to put other stuff in. And here is the stamp set. It's got Warm Wishes, Christmas, Merry, Happy, and 3 types of trees, and a little asterisk or a star. So we're going to go ahead and get these on the blocks so to save some time. And these are photopolymer. So we'll move that to the side. So when you take these off the blocks, you definitely want to slowly peel the photopolymer off. So there's 1, and I have extra blocks, so here's 2, because every time you get one of those type of kits, it comes with a block. Now, the paper pumpkins, they come with a spot, and they come with a stamp set also. But those, you have to be in a subscription, or you can let your demonstrator know that you would want one for that month, but you got to do it by the 10th of the month that it's coming out. So let's get all these mounted. Alrighty. And I got to take my glasses off because I see better up close with it. So I am going to put the wishes, and then I'm going to add the warm. Alright, so when you have grid paper, this is what I suggest doing. Just line it up on the grid. Don't do like that and try to figure it out. And then just give it a little bit of space. And these are sticky. So, word to the wise. Do not take them off unless you're putting them back on a piece of plastic, or leave them on the block. And that's not straight. I gotta bring it down where the W is lined up with the other W. Okay, that should be right. Nope. 3 times the charm. Okay. Great. That one's done. Merry. We need to add the Christmas. Let's bring this all the way to the edge. Okay. So I am going to turn this one over and put it on the grid paper. And then turn this. Oh, it's going to be too long, so I need a bigger block. Okay, so I usually do these diagonal because it's easier. Let me get the Mary off. It wants to stick to my fingers. I'm getting it set up while people are trying to come on. All right, looking for that blue line. So there we go. Maybe not. Let me just line this up with the line. There we go. There's that one. And what else is in this set? And then we got the trees. Got a couple more. I can use this skinny one for this one. Perfect. There's that skinny tree. And then we're going to use an A block for this little asterisk or star. And then happy. And I'm going to mount it on an A block too. So here we go. Alrighty. So I'll move those up there out of the way. And then just have that sitting there so everybody can see what they say. Alright. So when you get the kit, you're going to... Oh, I cut it. I did cut it. So I made it open the wrong side. This kit comes with 9 envelopes and 9 card bases. But there are 3 of each design. And I love how the envelopes are already done. There's the 3 envelopes of 1. And then I'm just going to keep my instructions handy so I can see those. And then there's these 3. So they're all with the same red. And there's nothing on the envelope. So we'll be stamping those envelopes. So, okay. And then, of course, it comes with dimensionals in the kit. So the only thing that you really need is a bone folder or your hand, a pair of paper snips, and your choice of adhesive, which I'm going to use the multi-purpose glue. And like I said, I brought in the rhinestone basic jewels because I'm going to use those because there was no jewels in the kit. And then I'm going to use the Take Your Pick tool to pick up the rhinestones and peel off the dimensionals. So here we go. So the first one is this one. I'll move that out of the way. And it's already pre-scored. So you're just going to fold that over. Move the stuff there. And then just, or you can use your bone folder. You saw me use my hand, so you don't have to have a bone folder if you don't have one. And it's got pre-cut out stuff and pre-stamped stuff. So, like this one has the light apple green, granny apple green trees. And it's on all of them, but each one's going to be stamped different. But I just wanted to show you as we go through here. And I only need 3 because I'm going to do 3 different styles. And then I'll do the other ones later. But for some reason, it looks like it's got more than that. So they must have gave us some extras. They did. So we have 3 extras that you can add to other cardstock bases, like using a regular normal pretty peacock and 1 basic real red and then 1 granny apple green. So let me move those out of the way because we only need 3. And I see I got 1 person on. Welcome. I don't know who it is because they haven't made a comment. And this one has palm trees and cactuses. So I've got to open up the brochure to see. It doesn't show, so that way you can use those. So we are going, and it's got a glittery base, if you can see that. So I'm going to go ahead and pop out the cacti. And then I'll put those to the side. And then we got pretty palm trees. So it's for any type of climate. So just give you a heads up. This is cool because on the actual brochure, when you looked at it, it didn't show these. So that was a big surprise when I opened it up. So there's that. And I'll move that out of the way. And these are for your sentiment. So we need one of each of the colors. The Granny Apple, the Real Red, and the Pretty Peacock. So, anyways, let me move those over there. And see if we have anything else in. Yes, we do. Here's the trees. And here's one of the other bases. But I don't want to confuse anybody. And then here's the other one, the Granny Apple Green with it's got like a print to it, like dashes. And then one had spots. So, and here is this tree. So, when you're popping these out, if they don't have real heavy, intricate pieces, you can actually pop them all out at the same time. And for those of us who like to recycle, these can go in the recycle. So, there's that. And then there's that pretty tree. And it's all glittery. So if you can't see that. And then here's the other tree. And that's the same one. And then here's this tree. Just gently pull. And this tree. Pop that loose. And it's best when you're prepping, when you're getting ready to do these, is to pop everything out. But I don't want to get my whole workspace. And these are horizontal cards. So they're going to open just like this. And then I saw that I didn't have this lined up. So there we go. And slide this stuff out of the way so it's not in our way so I can show y'all. I'll leave that sitting there. So the first one, it shows trees and it shows you stamping them. So let me move the base out of the way and bring in one of these. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and stamp with the Pretty Peacock and the Real Red. So if you're new and you're not sure, let me show you, because this is one of the new pads. This is the new pad. I have pads from, I've been a demonstrator for a long time. So this is the one that came out later. And then this is the newer version that came out about 4 or 5 years ago. So all you do is lift up and slide back. When you first get a brand new ink pad, this is sometimes hard to push back and forth. You can use it just like this, but just use a Q-tip with some Vaseline or Q-tip with a little bit of chapstick and go into the grid, and that helps it slide back and forth. But after you start using them, they're not that hard. So what we're going to do is we're going to stamp this outline stamp, which is this one. And when you're first inking up a stamp, you don't want to press, because these are foam cushion pads. You want to go ahead and stamp first. So get it done, and then you're going to go and then stamp. So I'm going to bring this one down just a touch. Okay. And then I'm going to bring one more over here on this side. And I always like to do odd numbers because it looks balanced. And so then I'm going to bring in the Granny Apple Green. And then I'm going to turn that one over there. And I'm going to use this tall, skinny tree. So I'm just ink that up. And then I'm going to bring it in. Let me stamp off. Just to see if it's all inked. It is. And sometimes people ask me, when should I re-ink my pad? Well, when you see, because most people like to stamp in the same area, when you see this area lighter, you want to re-ink them. And another suggestion is whenever you get an ink pad, you definitely want to buy the re-inker at the same time. Here we go. There's that. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do. So we're going to take, this one had 2 of this tree. And you can lay it out however you want. You don't have to copy. It just gives you a visual of what you want to do. And then we had one of these skinny ones. That's why I wanted to put the tall one in there. And then it had another one of these. Okay, but it's going to cover that tree up that I stamped. So I'm going to go in here and bring this one. So that way you see that other tree in the background. Isn't that cool? And I'm going to move this one over just a little bit. Now you can mount them with dimensionals, but keep in mind when you do that, you do have to pay extra postage. So it's for an extra ounce. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and add my Tombow multi-purpose glue. And I'm just going to dot it on a couple areas. And then I'm going to place it where I want it. There we go there. And then I'm going to do this too. And there's that. And bring that over. Now it has a little bitty asterisk, which I want to use with the real red. So I'm going to show you that. And then you just want to use the corner of your pad when it's a small stamp. That's a helpful hint, because otherwise you're going to get ink on the four corners. Get it on your hand like I just did. And then I'm just going to stamp this. Yeah, I didn't have to go and prime and check this one, because when it's a small stamp, it doesn't take much to tell whether you've got ink on it or not. So I want to do 5 of that. And then I think I'm going to go over here. There we go. And then, of course, I didn't get that right. But the benefit of photopolymer, you can see where you were last. So there's that. I'm going to move that over there. So now we're going to go and put it on the base of the card. Now, for those of you that are casual and avid stampers, you could add another piece of paper up underneath. I'm not going to do it because I want to show it with what's in the kit, so people don't think they have to have all that. But I would back it either with the Granny Apple or the Pretty Peacock or some of our glitter or foil paper, because then that would bring out, the red foil would really bring out the glitter, or even the other glitter paper. We have summits in the online store. We have summits in the annual catalog. And then we have some papers that are in the new mini from September through December. So I'm going to go ahead and add the adhesive. And try not to get too close to your outside edge, because it will spread. But this also gives us enough time to get it maneuvered where we want it. And you can do it this way and have the verse at the bottom. Or, which I'll show on another one, you can have this at the bottom and put the verse at the top. So, and then this one has the Pretty Peacock label. So we're going to go ahead and stamp that in real red. And we're going to say, Merry Christmas. So this is why it was 2 separate. So, we're going to do this. So I suggest before you ink it up, lay it on the label to where you want it. If I paid attention to the instructions, I would have known that. And then we'll bring it up just a touch and make sure it stays in place. And then line that up and press down. Then it picks it up. So, and we want real red for this. So we're going to try this out. And then we're going to stamp that at the top. And make sure you stamp on, in the kit it comes with a piece of chipboard. You want this cushioning. Or you want it stamped on top of a pad of paper. Or you can use your silicone mat, which is what I use. Okay, so you see where I messed up? So you just go back and you look at it. This is a helpful tip. and you look at it and you just go right back up. The ink is already still on the C, so it doesn't go away. Hello, Debbie. So we're going to go in here, re-ink this up, and we're going to stamp it on the label. And just eye it just like that. And then, there you go. Oh, okay, I didn't get the C, so that's okay. I just go and look at it and go right back through and press on that C. There we go. Can't even tell you messed up, right? Now, remember we had that little asterisk? So I got my cleanup pad. So let me go ahead and clean this stamp off, and we're going to use the Granny Apple Green. And the reason why is because we've already got the pretty peacock, and we've already got the real red. So we're going to go ahead and ink this up. There we go. And we're going to stamp 3. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. Now, I'll move that pad out of the way. So then bring this card back in. So, you can lift this up, but remember what I said is if you put it with dimensionals, which it comes with, I want to add the rhinestones, so I don't want to have 2 depths on it. So, here we go. We're going to turn this up. That is right, Debbie. That is the blessings of clear stamps. So, yeah, you can see through them. You can see when you make a mistake. Most definitely. So, all right, let me get these out of the package. All right, so we're going to add some of these beautiful rhinestone jewels. And I'm going to go ahead. First, I need to put the saying on. I jumped the gun here. So, let me show you. Even if you stamp just off, it looks like it gives you a shadow, which is perfectly fine. Okay? So, they'll think that was meant to be, because we do have stamps that have that. So we're going to go ahead and place that on. And I'm going to bring it up to where the tree is. And that way it looks even with the top as well. And then just press on it. Now we can add the jewel. So you're going to push. And I showed this tool last night. I love the Take Your Pick tool. It's got a putty side and then a poker. And what I didn't show you last night was it has a locking mechanism. You twist. And on the other side, it's a spatula. So, and then you just go ahead and put it back in and lock it. And then this one is removable, so you can get the refills for it. And then they have 3 more tools that go with it, as well as the die brush that gets the small pieces out of our intricate dies. So, we're going to pick that jewel up, and we're going to place it at the top of the tree. And then we're going to do another one, and I'm going to use a larger one on the bigger tree, which is the one right here. And then we're going to use a small one there. And medium. I didn't mean large, because this does come in 3 sizes. Here's the large, here's the medium, and here's the small. And you get more small than you do the others. So anyways. So there's the medium there. And then what I wanted to do is add 2 small ones on either side of the saying. Oh, didn't pick it up. I thought I did. There we go. You have to keep pushing that. Push, pick up. Sometimes it wants to pick up. Come on, there we go. And press. There we go. And there's the first Christmas card. And this is not going to cost you extra postage. So, just to give you a heads up. Now, if I added the dimensionals, yes, it would. Okay, so that was card number 1. So, let's go to card number 2. So, Let's see. And it's going to be with the pretty peacock. And I thought I kept me... Oh, I didn't. I stacked it over here. Let me get me a base here. So this one's got spots, polka dots. See that? All right. Let me use my bone folder to make sure I got a nice crisp crease. And I'll move this out of the way. And then we'll stamp the insides afterwards. I just want to get... And the envelopes. So here's the next one. And so that one they chose. They give you an idea of what to go and do. But it's your card. So keep in mind, you can change up however you want to do the layout. Now keep in mind, I have cactuses and palm trees. So I'm going to add a palm tree to this one. On either side of the pretty big red tree. This is all glitter. See? So, we're going to use that one. And we're going to use a palm tree. And then another palm tree. So now we're going to go and stamp with a different tree. So we're going to use this tree. So I'm going to stamp this one and the pretty peacock. So we're going to ink this up. Because I used a lighter color, I don't need to worry about cleaning it off. But if I chose to go with had used a dark color first, I would have to clean it off before I went to a light color. So I'm going to bring this over here and stamp one. Okay, so I need to reline that up. It's good that I'm making footballs so people know doesn't matter how long you've been stamping. Yeah, there we go. I always like to show people how to fix. And you can also say, it was a very creative moment for me today. Okay, and so that one's got a little spot, but we can, I think that may have been on my ink pad. Okay, there we go. Oh, it's gone, but that's gave me a double vision there. That's all right. So we don't want one in the center because this one's big. But what we do want is we want a trunk. So what I'm going to do is just ink up the bottom of the tree. See that? So we want that to go here. So we're going to put this over here to this side and bring it where we want it in the center. And I'm going to come down a little bit. Okay. Don't worry about that because it's going to be covered up. See? This is going to go just like that so it has a trunk. And then, of course, we're going to use the, they only had one asterisk on here, so I'm going to use the Granny Apple Green, which is a little bit darker than this lighter color because this was printed up. And we're going to go ahead and stamp some of the asterisks. Now, keep in mind, I used the real red earlier, right? So that means I need to clean this stamp off. And I'm going to use our cleanup pad. This has been around for a long time. We also have the, oh my gosh, another brain fart. It's a pinkish purple. Oh my gosh, and you wet it. I can't think of it. Debbie, can you help me? I kind of think I keep mine in a clear case mount. I can't think of what it's called. Oh, I love the scrub pad. That's what I'm using now, but what's the other? The chamois. That's what I was trying to think of. And I almost used the wrong pad. I need to bring that Granny Apple Green in. Yes, the chamois. Which is great because you can wring it out and it doesn't hold that much water. So you see how darker the actual ink pad is from the print? So it kind of gives you that two-tone. So let me move that tree out of the way so I don't accidentally stamp on it. And I'm going to put a star on that tree. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like I said, I always do odd numbers. Odd numbers makes them look balanced. So, okay, move that out of the way in that pad. So here we go. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put this pretty white tree with all the red glitter balls on first. So, and you're going to tie that in here. And you're going to press that down. Just keep in mind when you use the liquid glue, don't get too close to your outside edges. Now, remember the palm trees? Isn't this going to be cool? Yes, I love it. So we're just going to add a little bit of glue and go down the trunk of the tree. And keep in mind, if you get too much, just pick the other one up and lay on top and do the kiss method, which I almost got too much on here. We don't want that seeping out. Okay, so I'm going to do this because, you know, palm trees always tilt. So I'm going to bring it down a little bit. And yes, it's covering up that other tree, but that's all right. We got the dark tree in there. So, and then here, I'm going to just tilt this one this way. So guess who gets these? I'll be sending these, the ones I make out of the palm trees, to Shayla and Taylor because they live in Hawaii. They'll appreciate that. So that part is done. So now we want to go ahead and put it on our base. And this time, I'm going to bring it to the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and add the glue. There we go. And we're going to bring it down here. And I always look here, here, and here. So you see it has to be slid over just a touch. There we go. And as I said earlier, if you wanted to add some other type of paper underneath the white, you can do that. But it's not necessary. Okay, now our saying, which we're going to be using the one with the granny apple green, and it's up here. And we're going to be stamping that one. And we're going to do warm wishes. So, and this one's also, that's why they were separate. They weren't meant for me to put them side by side. If I had looked at the picture, I would have known that. Let me move this out of the way and bring this up so you can see. So, alrighty, I need the bigger block. That G block is not going to work. So, and it can be saying warm holidays too. It doesn't have to say warm wishes. So let me move this one over here up a little bit. And there we go. All right. Different block. And I think I got them straight. Looks good to me. We'll know in a moment when I go and try it out. So this time we're going to use Pretty Peacock. We're going to use, I'll line it up down here on that line and see if I have it straight. That's the benefit of the grid paper. Yes, that is straight. So there we go. And it's got a separate, so I'm going to put some 3 jewels there. So we're going to line this up and place it on here. And remember to count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then hold your paper. Very nice. That came out very nice. Just what I wanted. Okay. So, that little asterisk, right? We're going to use the Granny Apple Green. And we're going to do one here. And we're going to do one here. Now, I'm going to show you a method. So, it's called first, second, and third generation. So if you're not familiar with that, it means you ink up your stamp and you stamp once, then you move it, stamp again, then you move it, and you huff on the stamp the third time. Can't do that in classes anymore after COVID. But see, that's a little faint. So what you would do is probably do what I showed. So here we go. We're going to stamp one on the opposite side. And then we're going to stamp in between. Isn't that cool? We're going to do the same thing on this side. And then we're going to stamp one right in between. There we go. So now we're going to go ahead and take and mount this to the card. Now, you can add ribbon underneath if you want to as well. But I'm just going to try to stay with what we're using that's in the kit, except adding the beautiful rhinestones. Hello, Kelly. Okay, so here we go. And then we're going to do this. And this one, I'm going to bring it a little bit further down. But I got to look at it and make sure I have this centered, which I do. So remember earlier on this card, we put the rhinestones here and here. We're going to put the rhinestones 1, 2, 3. So let's get our take your pick tool. And so what I want to do is put a big one in first. And that popped off. So let's flip that baby over. It doesn't want to flip over. It wants to stick to the tool. That's not what we want. So we're going to pick that up. Okay. It's making a... Oh, let me get me some more putty out. There we go. All right. We're going to put it right in the center. Right above there. Press on that. Now, we're going to use a medium one. Oh, it likes to stick to my fingers. Come on, work with me tonight. There we go. We're going to put one there. Anyways, so I'm going to ask a question. Y'all can comment when you have a chance. You don't have to comment right now while you're watching. If you had a choice, what would be the one tool that you could go without? Okay, now we want tiny ones. We want 2 tiny ones. I'm going to put a total of 5 on this one. I'm not going to, and then, come on. There we go. There's 1 there. And then push again with your point. And then pick up and put 1 there. So, there's that. And this one, I'm not going to put any on the card. I just wanted to show warm wishes to highlight the thing. But isn't that cool? So keep in mind, it doesn't show the palm trees. And it doesn't show the cacti. All right, let's go on to number 3 card. Okay, so the 3rd card is using the card base that's Granny Apple Green. So isn't that pretty? It's got the dashes. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, Kelly. What tool could you do without? Me, it would be a bone folder. I don't really need a bone folder. I'm so used to using my hands. But what tool could you do without? Then I'm going to ask you, what tool could you not have? Yeah. The one tool you cannot have, you got to have a paper cutter. How could you? Yeah. Oh, well, I've used a stamp case and I've used an ink pad to hold my stamps when I can't find a block. So think about it. What tool would you can't go without? I can't cut paper straight without a cutter. I can cut stuff out, but having to cut a straight line without having to use a ruler and a pencil and all that, I could not go without a cutter. So that is definitely one. So let me move that out of the way. So here is the trees. And of course, we're going to bring in the cacti. See the cactuses? Here we go. So I don't want to use all the cactuses. So I'm just going to bring in one. And then I'm going to bring in one of these other trees over here. And then I'm going to use that little skinny tree. So the offset of the colors. So, hello, Jeannie. So here we go. So first off, we want to see what we want to do. So I have used red as the splat, and I've used that. So now I'm going to go and take that little star, and I don't have to clean it off, but I do have to get that ink off that corner. But the first thing I do, I'll be on my hand. We're going to use a pretty peacock. So I've got an idea where my trees are going to be. So I'm going to stamp it up here in the corner. So Jeannie, you just joining, we were asking the question, what tool could you do without and what tool could you not do without? So think about that. And then if you want to, you can leave me an answer, my dear. So we're going to stamp one down here. And then we're going to put one on that tree. That's 1, 2, 3. We put one here. It's off the paper. And one over here. Okay. So earlier I was showing how you could do first and second generation. 1 and 2. And if it's a darker color, you could do 3. See, like this one here, you could do 3. But I'm just going to show you. I'm going to stamp off, and then I want to come on with a light one. So just remember that your ink pads can be more than one color. They can be 2 or 3 tones, depending on the color. If it's a dark one, it could be 3 colors. If it's a light one, it can only be 2. So 1, 2, 3, I need 2 more light ones. So I'm going to bring one down here. And I think I'm going to bring one over here. There we go. Because I didn't want to do it wherever the images are going to cover up. So let me move my ink pad out of the way, the asterisk out of the way. So now let's put these back on. So, and I usually try not to move them because I want to know where to place it back. All right, so we're going to bring this down just a little bit and place that on. Then we'll do the cacti first. And then I'll have the smaller tree raised up a little bit. I'm going to bring the cacti over here. And you can use any type of glue, but when I'm demonstrating, I like to use the multi-purpose glue. One reason is because it gives me time to shift it and everything. So I'm going to bring this one up just a touch. And you'll understand why, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the saying up a little bit higher. So there we go for that. So let me move this over here. That's the stamp set that comes with it, which is what I've been using. Wrong thing. That goes with it. Trying to put that on the lid of the glue. Oh my gosh. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and mount this on. Now let me tell you what you can do. You could shorten this and make it a vertical card if you wanted to. But I'm not going to. I'm going to stay with what it is as a kit. Because when I put this on YouTube, I want people to see that I haven't really gone way out of the box. But that's the benefit. You can buy more than one kit. They're not expensive at all, too. So, and then give a friend the stamp set. There's our glue. So, here we go. We're going to bring it up and we're going to make it even. And then I'm going to show you what I was talking about. And then just press down. And it only takes just a little bit for that. There we go. Hi, Denise. How are you this evening, too? Thank y'all all for joining. I totally appreciate it. So, now. So, remember we stamped the sayings. We stamped one with Merry Christmas, and we stamped one with Warm Wishes. Now, we're going to use Happy. What is the other one? Happy Christmas. Yes, that's what we want to do. So, earlier I went ahead and put all these stamps on blocks and didn't realize that the label would not be that big. Okay, what did I do with my other little thing that I popped out? Okay, we used the Pretty Peacock and we've used the Granny Apple Green. Where's my real red one? Okay, y'all ever had to look for stuff? You swear to God, and watch it be right in front of me. And yep, right there underneath the tree. So, anyway, so this saying is going to be in Granny Apple Green. So, I got to clean these off because I want to use Happy Christmas. So, and I'm using the Stampin' Scrub. And Debbie filled me in earlier. I couldn't think of chamois for nothing. I was having brain freeze there. So we want to clean that off. And so what I was showing them earlier is you kind of want to, I want to do it on the back side because I know I probably didn't get it clean all the way. And we want to use the happy, which is right here. And they're staggered. So we want to do that. But this one, I'm going to change it up. So I'm going to put it in the center. And then I'm going to put happy right above it. And some people don't realize it. You know, if you want your photopolymers to do more than one thing, you know you can cut them. And you go, what? Yes, you can. You can cut them. So, let's see if I got this straight. All right. Let's get it on a block. All righty. Find a line. All right. And let's try this out. So, this is going to be in Granny Apple Green. And your reds and your purples, and I can see that happy is not straight. Oh, I guess it is. Fool me. Okay, here we go. Of course you can share it. Of course, Debbie, you can share whatever I show. I wouldn't be posting it on public under my name if I didn't want it shared. Yes, you can, honey. The only thing is I won't have the ingredients listed. That takes time. I have to type all that stuff up. So, there's Happy Christmas. Now, we want to put a little background on that, right? So, we are going to take, and not the tree. Where's the little asterisk? And I think I used green, so I don't have to clean it off because I'm going to use the blue. Where's my towel? There we go. So, remember when you're using a small stamp, use the corner of your pad. And see, my pad is getting ready to go bad. You see that? I got to buy me a new pretty peacock. If you see your pad start changing like that, be prepared. It's giving you a heads up. So I'm going to just stamp one right here. And then I'm going to stamp one right here. Okay? And then we're done with that. And I'll go ahead and not close the pads because we got to do the inside. So now we're going to go ahead and put the multi-purpose glue on the back of that. And we're going to go and stamp our insides. After I do the rhinestones here. Of course I got to add rhinestones on this one. I did the first two. Why would I not do that one? Hello, Patty. Anyways. So we're going to do this, and we're going to bring it up closer to that tree. And it's okay if it overlaps. So you see this point? If you want it straight, just look at the other point and line it up. These 2 points right here on that greeting. Okay? There we go. And now we're going to take your pick tool and add some beautiful jewels. So now we're going to add it to the trees. So we want a large one for that big tree there. Put it on there. And then we want tiny ones. And so you can just use a point if you want to. But I always want to show that for people who have a little bit of trouble with holding their tool. Some of my ladies that are up there in their late 70s and early 80s, they do. So I'd show them this. They all have one. So we're going to add one on the cacti. Press down. Always press down on your gems to make sure they stick. And then we want a medium one for that tree. Okay, come on. Don't be stubborn with me. Oh, I didn't push it enough. Well, so if your putty gets to where it's not sticking, it's time to roll it out and add some and let the new come out. There's that. And of course, we're going to put 2 small ones down here on those 2 asterisks. Hello, Melissa. Push and pull. And then there's one, push and pull. Come on. There we go. And we're going to place it on there. There's that. All right. The cards are done. So the next thing is we got to do the inside. So this doesn't have a greeting, but we're going to go ahead and stamp some trees. And I'm not crazy about making my trees different colors, so I'm not putting a red tree inside. Nope, 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 nope. But you only have to stamp one. You stamp one, then you can go over here. So there is something on that rubber. I can see it now. Let's stamp off, then we'll line that back up. That's the benefit of the photopolymer, because you can see through them. Then I'm going to stamp off and on and stagger. Isn't that cool? And that, oops, I forgot to count to 5. Don't copy the teacher here. So, and you can use, so that may be one thing that you don't, if you don't have verses, you may want to purchase a all-season greeting set that will work for all the holidays throughout the year. And I know we have one that's in the mini, and I know we have a couple of them in the annual. So, where's my other 2 cards? So, I'm going to do one dark in the Granny Apple Green, and then I'm going to switch and then do with the Pretty Peacock. And remember, the Pretty Peacock is darker, so I didn't need to clean it off. But I do need to count to 5, as I was showing earlier, then pull up. And then do the same thing over here. And you could go all the way across the bottom, but you do want to leave a little bit of room to write, because during the holidays, when we do send out cards, it's usually the people that we don't hear from or talk to throughout the whole year. They're long distance. So here's this one. So this one here, I'm going to go ahead and do with the Pretty Peacock, because it's like the same tone on the front. And then I'm going to do it in the center here. And then I'm going to do one staggered here. Whoops, go back, count to 5. So just keep in mind, photopolymer is not like the red rubber. You do have to give it time for the ink to go to your paper. And if you don't, see, the ink is still here. So don't re-ink it, just reline it up and then go back and stamp. Hey, Kathy. Okay, so there's that. So now we're going to go ahead and do the envelopes, which all the envelopes were the same. I showed that in the very beginning, so those of y'all that missed that. But they are lined on the inside. So we're just going to do one with a Pretty Peacock, and then stamp, stagger, oops, go back, and then we'll stamp this one off, and then stamp it on the other side. Okay, there's that one. Then we're going to do one in the green, so I do have to clean the stamp off before I do that. And here's the green, clean up pad, towel. Okay, here's the Granny Apple Green. We're going to go ahead and do this one, and we're going to stay in the same color tone. We're going to stamp one, but we're going to make it large, medium, small. See? Nice, right? And then the last one, we're just going to stamp a greeting, because like I said, I don't do red trees. Nope, 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 nope. So, that card had, what is it? I gotta find it. Where's the sentiment on that one? It said Merry Christmas. So, I'm going to go ahead and do warm wishes on the envelope in real red. So let me find the warm wishes right here. And then we'll put a light color, we'll do the Granny Apple Green trees in the background. So you're just going to stamp that. There you go. And close your pad. This is the old style. So let me show you. With the regular new pads, these are flip up, lock in, pull back, close up. So now here is the Granny Apple Green. And we're going to use, where's that little bitty tree? There it is. This one. We're going to stamp, whoops, not good, because I hadn't used it. See that tiny tree? We're going to use it here on the edge of the envelope. And then you can just go ahead and stamp one there. And then you can stamp one right below it in the darker tone. And there you have it. So here's one envelope. And this goes with this card. Okay. And that's the inside. Now, it's a shame they didn't have a palm tree or a cacti. So here's this envelope. Card, excuse me. And this was the envelope that went with it. Tone to tone. And then this was the inside. And then here's this one with its envelope. And here's the inside. So, I'm glad everyone came and joined me this evening. And if you have any questions, contact your local demonstrator in your area. They will enjoy creating these fun cards. They're not hard at all. And I'll bring that flyer back in. Or if you do not have a demonstrator in the state of Washington, in Kitsap County, I have several in my downline as well as myself. So you're welcome to contact any of us. But thank you for watching. Have a wonderful Thursday evening. And take care. Bye for now.